And we're back with another episode of.
I love that sound effect. Crunch, 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 crunch.
It took me a while to find something like that because I thought of the concept of snack pack. Yeah,
I love it. No, listen, it works. I'm doing my best Ocho / Laker Tom impersonation tonight.
There you go. Okay, sounds good. It is Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. We truly appreciate you joining us. Go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. Also, as well, don't forget our good friends Empire Jeff TV covering the Dodgers, who have gotten delayed with their World Championship celebration until Friday.
Small delay.
Yeah. Small delay. Also, as well, don't forget to go ahead and like Lakers in 5. Of course, John McCallion channel, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, plus our good friends at the Lakerholics. Go ahead. Check out Jamie Sweet's 5 Things articles and Laker Tom. I guess now he's a happy man because the Yankees won and Christian Koloko, the greatest center of mankind, according to him, is now officially been cleared to play. I love Tom. But man, just some of the things he says, you think you know everything about Tom, and then he says just something that just makes
he's cleared to play, Jamie. He's cleared to play. He can play. He's cleared. It's cleared.
I was listening to the latest Rick Bucher podcast, and halfway through, he starts talking about, well, he's done a great job, but before we anoint him as the next Pat Riley, oh wait. I'm thinking in my mind, Laker Tom already has. So you better talk to him, Rick. You better talk to him.
Too late, Rick.
Yeah, too late. So for all this hijinks, you got to go ahead and check out Lakerholics.com. Plus also make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Plus also become a member today for just $2.99 a month. Go ahead and get emojis like these two guys and me. You can get emojis of us, badges, also as well inside stuff.
They don't need no stinking badges.
Including a poll I put exclusively up for members here. I'm going to go ahead and show it on the screen right now, okay? Because I asked our members, what did they think? How many games are the Lakers going to win? So with that, I asked, how many games they're going to win for the rest of the road trip? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And so I have the answer right now. Yeah, coming up right here. The answers right
3.
there.
I'm going with 3. Wow, that's not the answer. It's a prediction.
Well, that's the most. It is 3. There you go. 43% of our members said
reasonable
fans.
Reasonable fans.
There was a Laker Tom, I guess, citing maybe in a part of our members, even though he's not a member. 14% there was 4. Then 29% said 2. And 1 was 14%. So with that, again, truly appreciate you taking the time to do so. I will put up more exclusive polls for our members, but you can only be a part of those polls if you're a member today for just $2.99 a month. Indeed.
Members and polls.
Yes, there you go. Members and polls. Absolutely. But it is, of course, that's something Kurt would have said, but I think you beat him to the punch. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. The news came earlier today that Christian Koloko did get cleared by the NBA, I guess, play to fit, ready to fit, whatever to fit department. They finally cleared him to play, to become a member full-fledged to the Lakers. He is still on a 2-way contract, but he is
not full-fledged. Yeah, but.
And he's going to be, he's kind of fledged. All right, how about that? 2-way contract.
50 games fledged.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. But yes, he can go ahead and join the Lakers. He is going to take and need some time to get ready first. But with the way the Lakers are playing a 3-1, some questions have arisen in regards to what JJ wants to go ahead and do for the Lakers. And one of the things that I brought up as far as in our post game, the biggest concerns is the bench. The bench and the lack of productivity. Last year, they were one of the worst NBA benches out there, period. And it hasn't gotten any better. Only 8 points last night. So what needs to happen for this to change, especially on a road trip, especially as LeBron gets older and older and AD gets more mileage on him? What kind of bench can we expect? What kind of help can we get going forward? Can Christian Koloko be an answer for the Lakers? So we discussed that today. And first up here to go ahead and maybe diss Laker Tom a little bit more is a good man indeed. He's wearing the Laker Tom shades right there for you. It is, of course, the guy. He's usually the brunt of Laker Tom's tirades. I'm only on it on Saturdays. It is, of course, Jamie Sweet. Jamie, great to have you here.
Thank you, Joe.
Michael Heinrich, who has to deal with both of you on Lakerholics.com. But
That's right. He's the voice of reason.
Christian Koloko, I guess, active now. It's going to take a little while for him to be, getting in shape, getting to the point where he's probably going to be part of the, at least a thought in the rotation. But man, he's limited on number of the games he can play. But with that said, my friend Christian Koloko, can he do anything at all to improve the horrid play so far by the bench unit?
No, not really. I'm not going to thinly veil my answer behind many words, but I'll follow it up with some. Listen, first off, 2-way contracts, 50 games max, can't play in the playoffs at all on a 2-way. Now, if we lose somebody, we're at the 15-man max. If somebody gets traded, we send out 2 players, bring back 1. His contract could be, in theory, converted to a full.
We just saw Jay Huff got
Right.
over the weekend.
That
He
can
had
be
a
done, I
terrific
think.
game. He got a 4-year contract up for it.
Now, that team had roster spots available and cash under the cap, right? So 2 things the Lakers don't have right now: cash under the cap and roster spots. So there's kind of a lot of just NBA 101 stuff that has to happen before you can consider Christian Koloko ready to contribute this season. And I don't consider somebody who's not going to play in the playoffs as a contributor. I mean, it might help us for a few games in the regular season. I really do think that this was an investment. More than anything else, the Christian Koloko experiment is an investment in young talent that the Lakers typically don't make any kind of a priority to do. Is he a better prospect than Colin Castleton? I think really the only debate that should be happening here. And I think he's a better, candidate for eventual NBA minutes than Colin Castleton is. I've watched the incredibly short highlight reel. Guy can jump. He's got some good defensive instincts. He's maybe projects out to be a slightly better version of a guy we already have on the team in Jackson Hayes. And we already have Jackson Hayes. So I don't see a lot coming out of that. I think it's great for him. It's great that he went through a, scary medical reality and came out of it the other side and able to get back into the NBA. That's great. Good job. He'll play a lot in the G League along with Bronny and Maxwell Lewis and hopefully Jalen Hood-Schifino. And, those guys just got to keep working on their games and see what happens. That is the path for that whole quadrant of players. And the unfortunate part is a lot of those guys are on our Laker bench and they're racking up DNP coaches' decisions every night. And so, I don't see any of the guys who I expect to spend a lot of time in the G League this season as any kind of solve or solution to the bench conundrum, which is a serious problem. It's going to be a serious problem all year, unless somebody gets put to the bench out of the starting 5, because we have a lot of scoring power in the starting 5. We don't have a lot of scoring power. Basically, if Dalton Connect isn't making shots, the bench is not going to score more than 10 points, it looks like. So that's just not going to get it done. It just won't. So that means either Reeves, Rui, or D'Lo will have to eventually go to the bench and maybe supplant Max Christie. Maybe Vando supplants Max Christie. I think that at that point, though, you really have to look at is the D'Lo does it make more sense to just have Austin Reeves be the starting point guard and put somebody else in from the bench to sort of balance this out a little better? And I understand that D'Lo's playing for a contract. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but in my mind, D'Lo for him is for his career. But in my mind, it makes the most sense basketball wise, because you can kind of let him run his own show. He can go back to being the best player on the floor. I don't know. It's going to be a problem all season. I don't really see a great way around it. I don't think there's a a consistent solution on the bench. Max Christie seems incapable of taking more than 3 shots a night, so that's not going to. There's all these seemingly built-in obstacles to the bench being productive, and I don't see a great way to overcome them internally, other than to continue to develop and encourage guys to keep working. And if one of them breaks through Caruso style or Reeves style, that's what it's. That's the sort of bolt of lightning, I guess, people are expecting or hoping for. I just think it's going to end up putting a lot of pressure on the starting 5.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Jamie Sweet, Joe Soro, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. Jamie, before I hand it over to Joe, I do want to say that I think that one clear way you can make a small change that might work out better is bring Connect first off the bench. I do not like the fact that Max is your 6th man right now. I just don't think it's helpful. I think overall he gets exploited. And so far, I don't care about the $32 million he got. I'm sorry.
But that's what they're starting. That's the reason, right? That the reason that they're giving him that is because of that contract. It's not because of anything he's done.
Yeah,
it's not because anything he's ever showed us on a basketball court. Clearly, so he's just got a lot to overcome. He's got this perception that for some reason the Lakers. I mean, there's a lot working against him in terms of the narrative. It's just like, why did you get offered? There's more questions than answers in his case. Like, why did you guys offer him this much money so quickly?
Who was bidding?
Who was bidding against you? Right.
Yeah.
You could have matched any offer. And once it got too high, you say, hey, look at all the money you made. Way to go, man. See you later. We got somebody who's just about as good as you and Jalen and Shafino, right? Like, there's not a lot of difference between the two guys, and it's not that I don't like either player. I don't want to see them succeed. I do. I just don't see the reason to hope for that based on reality. So because of that, I'm a little bit pessimistic about the bench, and that's going to be the issue, especially on the road. When we got Royce O'Neal outplayed the entire Laker bench in the loss last night, all by himself in almost every statistical category, I think. So that's just going to be a problem if that can happen in half the games. If it starts happening in more than half the games, that's a huge problem. So, it's just going to put a lot of pressure on AD and LeBron to play and be effective every single night. And, if AD's AD, there's a good 10 games out there where he's going to kind of, no show the second half or maybe kind of wallow through the game in general. And, we saw that LeBron in any way diminished is just not LeBron, right? Like, had a little touch of the flu or some kind of bug last night. Seemed to be almost a non-factor, didn't take a shot in the first quarter, I don't think, or first. Yeah, I can't remember what quarter. There was a shot where he went, we were going on a great run and he was just kind of laying back, and that's fine. But there's just so much pressure on those two guys to be pretty perfect, and it's just not going to happen. So something has to grow, or something like you're suggesting, maybe a slight. I don't know what bringing Connect in first gets you really, other than like you keep more scoring on the floor and a little less defense.
I think you also need to give him confidence. You need to give him confidence, and I think that fact is he's a guy who plays off of confidence and rhythm, and I think just him coming off the bench, showing him and also the team that he's the guy that you're counting on to give you a scoring punch off the bench is probably the best option of not a whole lot of great options right now on the bench. But
yeah,
let me go ahead.
He brings size, I guess, so that's nice.
Yeah. But once again, it is Lakers Fast Break. It is Jamie Sweet, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching this thing. But also here today is a good man indeed. He is not the happiest guy around because of what the Dodgers did, but they are still leading 3-1 and should finish off the series back home in Chavez Ravine. Actually, it'd be more fitting anyways, because it'll just be even a bigger celebration for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But a guy who's here wanting to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers for now, it is Joe Soro, aka Ox1947 at LakersBall.com, and of course, Simblades with a Y.com. So with that, my friend, thank you and welcome. My apologies for the Dodgers. Sorry that they didn't make it for as far as the sweep is concerned. But again, win it in LA. It'll get done, no worries. But with that, my friend, your thoughts, Christian Koloko. Again, I'm not making a big deal about it. I know Laker Tom was adamant on the weekend show about it a week before. He was adamant about it. I don't know what he's smoking, honestly. Okay, the Pat Riley thing, I think, is probably closer to what we think that Christian Koloko could do. I just let the kid get back in rhythm first. He hasn't even played in over a season now. So with that, I don't think he's the answer for a bench. But outside of playing Connect more and giving him more opportunities, I don't know what is, Joe. I mean, from a scoring standpoint, Vando and Reddish are not going to help you there either.
You do know what he smokes.
That's pretty strong then, if that's the case.
Being someone who inadvertently got into that world a little bit for about 18 months, I got a chance. I don't regret it, but it ended because it was kind of everything you would think it would be from the outside. But sometimes when you get into the inside of certain things, you're like, wait a minute, this has been all manipulated. No, it's not. The industry it's too far into the, let's say, manipulative side to be a legitimate business. There's going to be too many hands in there, and then once the government got their hands in there, it got worse. More so than anything is I started finding out what other things were being developed and calling it cannabis, and that took on a whole new ethics level scale. It's not just normal flower or indica, and you know how that goes. But I with all due respect to Tom is.
And we love you, Tom. Got nothing but love.
I don't love Tom,
even though you were always
I don't
mad
know
at
Tom
us.
that well to love him, but I like him. It's not get out of hand here, Gerald. I know you love everybody and you're always saying thanks to everyone every 5 minutes. But the Lakers are last night's game was the perfect example of you got the horses, but you can't ride them the entire way. You can't. It's not the NBA right now doesn't allow you to. You need a little bit of depth, or you need young guys kind of riding the ship. LeBron is not a young guy. He can play 3 straight games really hard, maybe at the beginning of the year, but you saw yesterday he was tired from being sick, and probably because he was balling out the first 3 games. AD played really well. AD right now is the first 4 games of the year. He's not only the MVP, he's the defensive player of the year. Everyone else, how do you say? I mean, numbers. If you look at the box score of last night's game, and I had to watch the game later because I obviously had other things going on. In a lot of ways, it's actually a fun. Before I started doing the Lakers fast break, I used to be able to watch Laker games in hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes sometimes if I'm really lazy with the remote. I still have DirecTV. So DirecTV has the DVR, and it allows me to, and it's very fast. It's very efficient. So I would fast forward, obviously, through all the commercials. I would fast forward the free throws. And if there's any dead ball situations, I'd fast forward through that. And I got really good at catching it at the right time. So I get through a Laker game in an hour, 15, hour, 30 minutes. It's a very efficient way of watching a game. And the NBA, because there's so many games, and if I'm not, you don't shoot. I've not watched a Laker game for an entire night. Went to bed, woke up in the morning, went to work, came back, and I didn't hear a peep about the score. It's not like the NFL where it's every week and then everybody talks about it during the week. But last night's game was bound to eventually happen. It's just what it is. It's just if the Lakers had one more guy maybe that can score kind of not maybe at will, but he's that guy where they have to think about him. They probably win last night, and they have a better chance at preserving the ones who are doing well. You look at somebody like Rui, and this is the big part about. This is something that I really, really want everyone to pay attention to, and it's being that it's the last stages of baseball. A lot of people try to mix in baseball with basketball. Empire Jeff was talking about this on the show a few days ago and yesterday, and then he mentioned something tonight when he was doing his show. Basketball and baseball are not the same, but where they are the same is you look at scenarios during a game. You look at somebody's numbers. Let's say Rui last night played 31 minutes, dropped 20, was plus 20, and hit all three of his 3-point shots and had 10 rebounds. You're sitting there going, let's say you didn't watch the game and you saw that box score with AD and Rui. You're sitting there going, damn, they won this game. There's a difference. There's a difference. There's a tenor in the game. There's a way the game is played based off the stars or the main guys where they manipulate a game a certain way that sometimes the stat sheet just does not say. You look at Magic Johnson's numbers back in the 80s, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists. You look at that now and you're like, yeah, it's a triple-double. It's not bad because you're expecting 25, 12, and 13. Look at Jokic. Look what Jokic did. And he needed overtime to win. The way a player manipulates that game, basketball especially, and in baseball to some degree, but they're 180-degree difference. But in basketball, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that your opponent is going to guard LeBron and AD differently than they would guard Rui. If Rui goes off, drops 10 and 20 and 10, they don't care. They let that kind of happen. They're focused on LeBron. They're focused on their energy on AD. And then maybe if there's a guy that's going off and dropping 5, 6, 7 threes, yeah, maybe they'll start kind of shading to that guy as well. But the conclusion of this discussion is the Lakers seem to have found something with JJ Redick where they are playing for this guy. And I was thinking maybe we might see the scream around December, January. Well, it looks like it happened last night. For those of you who don't know, when LeBron James got the 24-second violation because he didn't shoot quick enough, you could hear JJ Redick go, shoot the effing ball. And I didn't notice any kind of side eye or anything like that. So I think maybe JJ has sat down with LeBron, sat down with AD and said, listen, if you guys screw up out there, you got to let me yell at you. Because if I yell at you and you don't pout about it, everyone else is going to start getting scared and start listening, which makes sense because they're all listening now. They're playing better than they did last year. It's the same roster, basically. Now, you're not going to get any quality out of, let's say, Max Christie. It's just not in the cards, folks. I wish he could be that guy. He's just not. Dalton Connect, folks, the NBA is worse on rookies than any league out there. Hockey guys can play well or really well and make a difference in a lot of ways. Obviously, the NFL, baseball, but basketball, yeah, you got the Podzgaiskis and you got the Triple J's and you have Wembanyama. Obviously, he's the next big thing, but look at how it translated. As good of a season as he had, one of the best you could have as a rookie, didn't make a difference in the winning area because the game is too difficult in basketball to do that as a rookie. And Connect is thinking while he plays now. Until he starts not thinking, then that's when you can be comfortable with him. And I don't know. I don't know if he will end up being a starter this year. I think we're hoping for that because then it would finally allow someone to go to the bench because there is no bench. Jackson Hayes had a horrible game last night. And that played a big part on why the Lakers lost too. And it's part of the problem in general. If the bench doesn't do something, it's going to be a problem. And when you're in high intensity games, playoff games, games that could determine kind of the tenor, the attitude of the season, or some kind of rivalry with a team, you're gonna need those guys. You're gonna need those guys. Last night, the bench had 8 points, and 3 of that was your backup point guard. That's just not gonna. That's not gonna help, guys. It's not gonna work. Imagine if they had
desperation three.
Imagine if they had 15, just 15. Imagine if you just had 15. You win the game last night.
But I just say that 3 was on a desperation 3 at the end of a shot clock.
Sure. Yes, I know. It's just so it's worse. It's worse. But even 8 is worse. Even 8 is bad. I mean, Rob Pelinka has to pull a rabbit out of a hat. If they have any shot, and I'm sorry to say this, folks, there's no chance this team will compete for a title, even if AD is doing what he's doing, because it's not very realistic that he'll continue to do what he's doing anyways without something that can supplant these guys when they sit. These guys have to not worry about having to come back in. Once the playoff starts, if they're fresh enough, then the rotations will get down to about 7, and then we're okay with that. You'll deal with that. I trust LeBron and AD to hold their own there, and the starters. But right now, they gotta get to a top 4 spot to have any chance of having any kind of run, no matter how minute it is. No, I don't smoke, Intel.
Oh, by the way, Intel was asking 5 or 6 for the Dodgers.
I don't know. I actually thought they were going to sweep tonight, and they started off like they would. But then I started putting some common sense into this. This was a double-A pitching staff that they threw out there, and then the Yankees did what they did. Tomorrow, I don't know what Jack's going to do. I'll tell you this, if Jack doesn't allow any runs in the first 3 innings, I think the Yankees are toast. But there is something to say about Yamamoto pitching Game 6, being fresh and winning the title in LA. It's going to drive my nerves up the wall, but I don't know how they lose that game. I don't know. It's I'm trying not to think about it right now. I'm trying to focus on something else, because losing is, as you all know, it doesn't work with my brain and my heart and my soul and my personality. I don't like losing. It bothers me. And I say me losing. I know it's not me. I know it's the Dodgers. I don't go. I mean, sometimes it slips out, but I don't go, hey, we are gonna do it.
It's the royal. It's the royal me. It's the royal me.
It's not. I'm not a part of the team per se. I am a fan who is addicted to competition and winning.
That's a nice.
And I like watching greatness. I like watching things that people can't do it. That's kind of what the whole point of sports is. But I mean, if you want me to answer this as clearly as possible, I have no vision in my head of them blowing a 3-0 lead. That's just not going to happen. If that happened, then I don't know anything about anything. And at that point, I might as well just hang it up. I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry. Whether it's in 5, whether it's in 6. And if they somehow get it to 7, you'll have Walker Buehler pitching Game 7 on full rest. He'll shut those. He's one of those weird guys that just loves that moment. So I don't know. Again, I just don't think it's going to be a problem. At some point, the Dodgers are going to win 4 games, and that'll be it.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Jamie Sweet, Joe Soro, me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching this. Truly appreciate it. Kurt Affair's asking you, Jamie, what so far have you seen with the Lakers so far that we need to be more patient with? Excellent question, Kurt Affair.
The defense. I think the defense is still kind of a work in progress. I mean, it's the NBA. You're going to always give up something, right? Last night, we let Royce O'Neal kind of shake loose and go off because I think we were a little too focused on the name players, and we just didn't account for a guy like Royce O'Neal, and that's sort of the problem. Not just with the Lakers and the NBA, it's a problem with every team. You're going to give up something, right? Somebody's going to score. You can't stop everybody. You can't have a perfect defense. So, but I think it can be better, and that's as is. I'm not saying this player comes back. I think as is. I think there's some good things you can explore with the Jackson Hayes AD combination. I think there's some things that are encouraging in the Dalton Connect minutes. I am not somebody who thinks Dalton Connect, for a lot of the reasons that Joe brought up, and that he's absolutely right. The NBA is a punishing league on young players, on rookies, because they're just not used to so many different things. It's not just the frequency of the games, it's that there's more games that are more physical for longer, combined with twice the travel, twice as much. Oh, and you got to do interviews that you hate doing. Oh, and there's social media, and your mom or some random relative needs to borrow money from your new great deal, and I'm out of fingers, and there's more. Like, it's punishing. And that's true of any sport, but like the travel in basketball, especially on some of these road trips the Lakers have to go on, it's just brutal. It's, cross-country traveling it's brutal for anybody. It's not enjoyable. Nobody enjoys flying across the country except pilots. And so, I don't think he should play much more than 15-ish minutes a game, because otherwise he will hit a wall. And now this guy you've come to rely on isn't there. And that happened Austin Reeves year one. Austin Reeves year one hit a wall a little bit around February, and the team just cratered after that. And they were in the, mix that season. It was the year we missed the playoffs. It was the last year of Russ, I believe. But, it just, you can't burn out the parts that you need. And this is the big question mark. This is the anvil hanging over the Lakers season. It's like we're relying on like 3.5 guys to win every single basketball game every single night. And it's not a great formula for success. It's not a well-proven formula of success. There's not a lot of teams. And the Golden State Warriors are maybe the opposite, right? They're playing 12 people every night, which seems equally unsustainable in terms of like developing any kind of chemistry or rhythm. It's just going to be an uphill slog for this Laker team as currently constructed. And based on how I think we're valuing our assets, I wouldn't hold out a ton of hope. I'm not saying no hope, but I wouldn't hold out a ton of hope for like something that shakes it up. I don't see us trading for Zach LaVine or none of that stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be rough. I think that. And I wanted to answer in terms of Kurt's question. And yes, I guess I am giving off an NPR vibe. I switched glasses because I couldn't see a damn thing, and so I was tired of not seeing. But I think other than the defense, the young players, we're forced to be patient with the young players. I'm not saying that doesn't mean that they're off limits for critique. Certainly, they're NBA. They're in the NBA. You're going to get critique, man. And you're on the Lakers, so you're going to get critique twice as much. But that's the job. You're getting paid more than most people make, so deal with it and learn from it, grow from it, become better. And if they can, then this season starts to look differently. If somebody who, there's a whole starting lineup of players that we never talk about because we just sort of inherently know that they're what they are, right? Nobody's ever bringing up, but when Cam Reddish finally gets minutes or when Christian Wood gets back, nobody is bringing that up because nobody believes it's a solution, except for maybe Cam Reddish or Christian Wood. And they should, or they should quit. They have to believe in themselves since nobody else does. But, Jalen Hood-Schifino, nobody's taught the three players who've gotten the DNP coach's decision, Bronny, Jalen Hood, and Cam. I'm not counting Max Lewis because he's on a two-way. They're not in the equation. They won't be in the equation. If they're in the equation, it's a problem because they're vastly worse than everybody else who's in front of them on the depth chart. And the only person who can change this seems to be Jared Vanderbilt. I'm a huge Jared Vanderbilt fan. I think that's putting too much pressure or expectation on Jared Vanderbilt. If you get every game like the one that he got hurt in against Boston, yes, of course, that's a season-altering player. I can't expect that out of Jared Vanderbilt, not realistically. So, you're looking at a guy who is coming back from a long bout with a foot injury. Took him like a month to ramp up last time. This is time. It's all time at this point. And can the Lakers sort of tread water until either something happens on the trade market or Vando gets back and is like pretty good, or somebody on the bench decides to like take a step forward somehow? Hopefully. Hopefully. But like, as we saw, like even LeBron having a slightly off game.
Yeah.
And yeah, we only lost by 4, right? And like Joe said, if the bench had given us 15 points, we win by 2. We win
that start of the fourth quarter. I know JJ is pointing the second quarter, but that start of the fourth quarter is really because the Lakers had a lead going into the fourth quarter.
I think we're up by 7 or 8 going.
Yeah, and they gave up. They started the quarter on a 14-3 deficit, and yeah, it just never came back from there. Just to let you know, though, thank you for the correction. It was announced that earlier this week that JHS actually it has been sent to South Bay. Armel Traore was one of the two-way players was actually one of the guys on the bench. So just to let you know.
There you go. There you go.
Basically, they have a lot of dead players, dead contracts, players that they don't think are going to contribute right away at the back end of the roster.
That can't, not even that just can't. Jalen Hood-Schifino cannot contribute to winning right now. It is not possible. He lacks so many basic fundamental skills. He's not a rebounder. He is not a playmaker. He is not a scorer, and he's not a defender. Like, what? Well, you wear the uniform nice. Like, what? Okay. And that Cam Whitmore's doing pretty good, isn't he?
Yes. Don't remind me, my friend. Don't remind me indeed. But Joe.
Also, cool, bro. I will never be a Dodgers fan. All right. I have no problem with the Dodgers winning. It's just never going to happen. I don't bail on my teams. I'm an Angels fan.
Good luck.
You do you. Yeah, you do you. Oh, no, I mean, I'm not happy about it. It's not like I'm like, yeah, and we're going
to your eyes, I still remember your eyes popping out when I told you years ago they should have traded Ohtani and Trout. You're like, are you crazy? And I said, well, look who's crazy now.
Well, listen, if we're debating that, then that we can stop. I mean, yeah.
No worries, my friend.
Yeah.
Alfred
Real fans don't move.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm not moving.
Thank you.
To the lake. I'm not moving away from the lake.
I'll give you an option. There are a lot of San Diego Charger fans that left and picked new teams because they hated the Spanos and they went to LA.
And their team left them. That's different. When your team leaves you, you get a pass.
Absolutely.
You get a pass.
But
like Oakland Athletics fans, you'll probably end up Dodger fans or Seattle Mariner fans. I'm not sure.
The thing is with Oakland, the thing with the A's is you should follow them. They're much like the Raiders in a sense where the A's have been in Philadelphia, they've been in Kansas City, they've been in Oakland. Now they're going to be in Las Vegas. They are America's team in a lot of ways in terms of relocation during their own 100-year existence. It's okay to follow the A's if you're in Oakland. You're never going to get another team. You'll never get another substantial style of living over there if you guys visit Oakland. It's where San Francisco puts all their trash, yet they'll still support the people in San Francisco, which is hilarious in itself. My thing is, the one I poke fun at is when someone moves somewhere and they become, oh, well, they're my favorite team. And then they're still cheering for their old team and they're cheering for the other team that they liked when they lived somewhere else for 10 years. I go, what is this? How do you have any stock in anything when you're like, it doesn't work like that. Either stick with one team unless it defuncts, which relocation could be that. Sure. I'll give you that one. But what is this? Like,
I don't like it either.
And I know the losing doesn't help either. I know that my
Oh, no.
cousin's on here. He's around. Our family's from Detroit, and a lot of Lions fans. And I know Lions losing tended to kind of zap your innards. But that's the point, guys. Are you there during the downtimes? Look at the Red Sox fans. As much of a as badly taints as they are, they still watch those suckers for how many years until they finally won? Since 1967, when they had that unbelievable year. That was the birth, like a rebirth of Red Sox Nation. They actually called it Red Sox Nation even before the Raiders. And they followed them from 67 all the way through with all those crazy games and all those bad losses to the Yankees, to the Mets, and then finally, came through in 04. And then, of course, they've gifted them 3 more championships after that. That's how it's supposed to be, folks. And if it's not, I'm sorry, guys. If you're an Angels fan, you got to stick with it.
Oh, I plan to.
You can't leave.
No.
I know Artie Moreno sucks ass, believe me, but at some point he's gonna sell.
He's like who's the guy that owned the parking garage that bought the Dodgers?
Yeah, Frank McCourt.
The McCourts. It's like another carpetbagger guy with money. Thanks,
Bud Selig.
Parking garages and Major League Baseball. Those are two things that are just seamless integrations. Like, I can't think of anything more in tune with one another. Similarly, billboards and running the Angels, just synchronicity at the touch of a finger.
I will say this though, no joke. You all have the best food at a park that I've been to.
Oh yeah, no, it's solid.
Food is great.
You're right. I agree with you there.
And what drives me crazy is, why does Disneyland's food suck so bad? Just do what you did in Anaheim. Disneyland there. I don't get it. My friends who are Disney fanatics, I'm sitting there and go, man, the food here blows ass. They're like, no, it doesn't. I go, okay, tell me what place over there tastes good. They don't have an answer. I go, the ice cream tastes good almost everywhere on the planet.
Right. No, and that's not a meal. It's not a meal.
Exactly. And the Bayou whatever thing for the Pirates of the Caribbean, I've tried to go there like 8 times. They're booked until the end of, until Jesus gets here.
Oh, so never.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Before I get to Alfred's question, Alfred, I will get to your question. That's a long question. I'll have Joe answer that. But yes, Xbox.
Will you let Jamie talk, please?
How do you tolerate Laker Tom? He's asking.
Me?
No, yes, Jamie. That's the question. That's the real question.
Oh no, I have a. Thank you for that question. I have quite a great deal of fondness for Laker Tom. He's one of the few people I've met in person from various blogging and whatever you call this, video podcasting endeavors, and he is he's a very opinionated person, and I appreciate that. I don't like people who glom. I don't like glommers. I don't need somebody who's like, oh yeah, man, you're so smart and all the things you say are so great. And oh man, just keep talking. Like, it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't make me feel any better about myself or any of the things I think. It just makes you think like, well, I honestly know, truly, what is it that you think about this same topic? Because I assure you, because of humanity, no two people think the exact same about anything at all. So, I like Laker Tom. I like that he has vastly overinflated ideas of what the Lakers can use and trade assets and what they'll get back in return with those assets. I think it's absolutely hilarious how he believes that Christian Koloko is going to be any kind of impact on the season whatsoever. I'm not saying he won't play. I'm hoping that he'll play at some point. We're talking about a guy who has not played basketball in over a year. Was a prospect at the time when he got his blood clot. It's project guy. Like, what Let's also say that Bronny James will supplant Austin Reaves from the starting lineup because he's just going to be that good in like 3 weeks. Like it's just none of it's realistic. So I'm just too realistic, and that's the thing. Exactly, Xbox. Like I think in general, like we're the yin to each other's yang, and so it's nice when you find the fire to your ice, the oil to your water, the cream in your coffee.
So with that, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, Jamie Sweet, and me, Joe
Thanks.
Glassford. Thanks so much again for
Simon.
listening. Truly appreciate it. So we get to Alfred's question finally. Yes, hopefully, Alfred, you're still with us because I know you're on the East Coast. Could you give us, guys, your very quick thoughts on the road trip games ahead, each opponent, and whatnot? So I have this set up already. The next 4 games starts tomorrow. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, 4 p.m. Pacific. Cleveland, then Toronto the next, actually 2 days later. Then you've got on the 4th, you've got Detroit. I definitely want to get L-Rob by then for that one, if not sooner. And then on the 6th, you've got Memphis. So with that, Cleveland is obviously the toughest on this schedule coming up, Joe. Your thoughts, 4-0. They looked really good at MSG. Things are groovy right now in Cleveland, but they are, like the Lakers, very, very heavily reliant on their starting lineup in Cleveland.
I predicted 3-2.
I think we both did.
So however they win 3 out of the 4 will suffice. They come back after 8 games, which is 10% of the season at 6-2. I think that's a very good start. Would have loved to have gotten that game yesterday, but we're going to be saying that a lot. And that's a better scenario than listening to some dickweed coach who says that we hang on to regular season games too much when your dumbass can't even make the playoffs to have some kind of semblance of some success before you go into the playoffs. No, we have to not give a shit about regular season games so that you can play in the play-in, worry about that shit for a couple days, and then finally get in there and have zero chance at having any kind of home court. This is all that matters this year. You want to have a shot at doing anything of substance. And when you have LeBron James and AD, substance means contending. You have to get a top 4 seed if you have any chance of going deep. And deep, it's not enough. It's got to be a climax too. Sorry, that just was too easy for me. I had to
yes,
get that.
It was.
It has to go that way, folks. You're not spending $100 million on 2 players so that you guys can see a few games during the year, see another play-in ascension or an IST, and go, yay, and then watch the Celtics win a championship.
So, Jamie, let's get it right back at you. Your thoughts on Cleveland tomorrow. Again, a tough test. Cleveland has come out of the gates 4-0. They're the only other real team outside of Boston that has really had a real dominant way to start the season. Well, actually, OKC. I'll throw OKC there.
OKC is playing.
Yeah, they had some good wins too to start the season.
I mean, I think that it's going to be tough to come back 3-2 now. We really had to have that game yesterday. I have us losing all along at Cleveland and at Memphis. With a potential trap game coming up, and you know how I love those, Gerald. You know how I love those trap games.
Yes, Admiral Akbar.
So I'm not really even confidently predicting a win in Toronto. I think we'll handle Detroit. I'm not predicting a win in Toronto, but it's doable. I think of the 2, you really have to zero in on trying to end the road trip on a high note. I think Memphis is more beatable than Cleveland. The problem with Cleveland is that Donovan Mitchell's rocking and rolling. I think last season he was hurt for almost the entire season. He played in many games, but I don't think he never looked or felt like Donovan Mitchell that we knew and understood. He looks like that guy again right now, and if he can keep that going for the most of the season, they're going to be a tough team to beat at any point because they have 2 dominant big men. They play great defense, and they're scoring. Their shot profile is a little better than it was last year. And I think mainly it's just that Donovan Mitchell looks healthy and motivated. Whether that was because he had issues with Bickerstaff or just was actually hurt, or a little bit of all of it, whatever.
It seems like him and Garland are playing a lot better together.
I mean, this is like what, year 3 of that, so you would hope that they've
last year it was very testy between those two.
I think because Mitchell wasn't I don't think he was his best self. I really don't. I go back and watch Donovan. He wasn't moving the same. He wasn't attacking with the same aggression. He was a shadow of what he looks like this season. So, but point being, I think that, there's just too much on any given night that is such a big question mark for this Laker team. It's honestly hard for me to say, like, with confidence, I think we'll beat a lot of these teams. I think that if we don't dominate in the paint, if we don't outscore them by at least like 4 or 5 at the free throw line, and if we turn the ball over a lot and don't rebound, we're going to lose more games that we feel like we should win. I think that'll be what we saw last season, right? That's going to be good enough for a play-in. And then now that's an even harder road. It's all your games are on the road. You're playing more games. It's the level of expectation is absurd, and it just doesn't work out. So the attention to detail that Redick is purportedly known for, it just has to be on point every single game. All the role players have to be able to execute the game plan at a high level. And this was the question in the summer. This is the question in camp. It's the question now. We're going to be talking about this question all season long. What's with the Laker bench, right? That's going to be the question this year. Last year it was what's with the starting lineup. This year it's what's with the Laker bench. So we flip questions. That's fine. Not all games are on the road, Jamie. Yeah, no, I think roughly half are. So there's that. But yeah, it's a 5-game road trip where we're going to be 2 games into it by this time tomorrow night. And we'll see. And I'm pretty sure we'll get a Bronny James signing tomorrow night because it's Cleveland. They'll probably play for like another $5. And then when he gets back from this road trip, he'll also be sent to the G League, as he should be. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how we close this road trip out. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this team responds to a loss. Everything in the regular season has been sunshine and rainbows. Everybody's been very complimentary of one another. Like Joe said, we saw the scream happen. I think it's a good thing. I think you have to be able to coach your star players. I think you have to be able to stand up to your star players in public while you're doing your job. His job isn't to make everybody look cute and like have fun. His job is to coach the team and win basketball games. That's it. That's his job. It's not anything else. And so it's just going to be interesting to see how we respond to a loss and to any kind of adversity. That's when you start to see on your team who's got cojones and who's got, I don't know, maracas, pinatas,
something like that.
Sure. Who's got the stone to stand up and be like, all right, let's punch back. Let's punch back.
It's basketball balls.
Members, poles, balls.
Testicles.
There you go. Joe, after that, 2 back-to-back games. Well, actually, I'm sorry. On the 30th and then on the 1st. Excuse me, the 1st and the 4th. You've got Toronto, and then 3 days later, you've got Detroit. Not so worried about the Detroit game. Detroit's gotten off to an 0-4 start. Toronto.
Say that now.
Yeah, say that now. You got trap game. You're right. You're right, Admiral Akbar. You've proven us right. Yeah, you've proven us wrong already on more than one occasion.
Intel goes, you didn't answer my question. And I said, what was the question? And then he's gone.
Friends.
I think about the 5 or 6 games. And I think you said you weren't sure on that one.
Yeah.
I answered it.
Oh, he said, okay, guys, he's got you. Okay, all's good. Okay, that's all good now. But Joe, After that, again, you've got Detroit and Toronto coming up. Toronto, the only thing is if Scotty Barnes may or may not be able to be ready to play in that game on the first. I mean, it makes things so much easier if that's the case. Your thoughts? Those are two gimmies in my mind. They have to win those if they want to go ahead and make any successful road trip. I understand they could be traps. You know how they play in Toronto all the time. At least it's not on a. Is that on a weekend?
It's on a weekend and it's early.
Oh no, it's on a Friday. It's on a Friday.
Which is the early game?
The Toronto game is on a Friday night. It's not on a weekend afternoon where they usually get stuck, and that's why they usually lose in Toronto. Your thoughts on Toronto and Detroit, Joe? Again, that's Portland at the Rose Garden and Toronto in the afternoon on a weekend.
I like the sound of Joe's thoughts.
Well, there's a 2-day break. I'm not used to that on the road.
Yeah, it's usually back to back or something.
That's why I feel confident that they can win those two games rather convincingly, actually, when normally they don't, because I feel like Toronto is always on the back end of a back-to-back usually when they're going east. This schedule is weird. This has been a very, very different schedule than what I remember in the past. If they beat Cleveland, there's a small chance they could finish 4-0.
Yeah.
If they keep playing the way they're playing. LeBron is...
And then also John Morant might be hurt leading into the Memphis game.
There's a very good chance if they continue to play the way they've been playing, there's a good chance they could come back 4-0 from that, 4-1. There's a chance. And it's not something that's Laker Tom wishful thinking. It's Joe Soro thinking. But 3-1 feels pretty damn good. At least for right now. If this was in January, you don't know. Sometimes you get into those ruts when you're in the middle of the season, when you're tired. You don't know. And in the end, it's still the same issue. I still have the same issue. Rob has to get this team some talent. You have JJ Redick, who's doing something here that I didn't know he could do because I don't have any background to know.
How could you have known?
I've never seen a guy this kind of high profile job without having one damn job, not even an assistant coach. Because I'm getting heat right now from everyone. Joe, you thought they were gonna suck. I said,
all that heat.
They're not saying anything, by the way, about JHS or Cam or Reddish.
All the stuff that you got right.
I'm like, dude, you cherry picked all the shit that I was wrong, at least wrong at right now. The shit's not done yet, but it's okay. I get it. I get it. A lot of the banter I created I was irritated, but I'm still kind of irritated because now it's worse. It's worse because guess what? JJ Redick looks like he has something here, and you still have butter knives on that damn bench. Get him some damn steak knives at least. Not maybe Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or Mastro Steakhouse knives. Can you at least get a Longhorns steak knife? Yeah, something. Because he's got nothing other than the starters. And this is not the same as Denver. You look at Denver's lineup. They have Westbrook, and that's it off the bench. Almost kind of similar to us. But the problem with this team here, the Lakers, is Jokic is in his prime. Michael Porter Jr. is in his prime. You have Jamal Murray, who's in his you have three guys on that team that are in their primes. They're not even in their prime.
Struggling. Well, they've been struggling, Joe, and Jokic has had to literally carry the team on his back the past two games just to get 2 overtime wins over teams.
Yeah, it's probably going to be an issue, but they're probably going to make a move.
Yeah.
They have the ability to do that where the Lakers they're going to need a favor.
There's an easy answer to this question. Whose problem would you rather have? The Denver Nuggets problem of playing down to their competition, or the Lakers problem of, well, this is as good as it gets? I'll take the Denver Nuggets problem.
But you do have Russell Westbrook.
Aaron Gordon just got
That's a good point.
9-figure deal. He's not like all-star level, but the guy is the perfect fit with those three guys. It's different. It is. But JJ Redick is bringing something here. You gotta bring him something, man. Let him give him the ability to really surprise. Can't keep going to that LeBron well. And y'all know I'm hard on LeBron, but it's usually never about basketball. It's usually about some stupid, other stuff off the court that blends into basketball. But LeBron he can't even be sick without somebody just trashing him. It's like, dude, people get sick. There's documentaries that Kobe did where you can hear him go while he's walking around the hotel talking to the interview guys. These guys are going to 17 different places. You think they're not going to get sick? They probably get sick more than you think. Plus, he's doing everything. He needs help, dude. And this time it's not 2012 help or 2016. Because it's funny, the guy's in his 22nd season, like, oh, LeBron still needs help. Yeah, he does. He's been in the league for half a century. He does need help. This is not Miami LeBron. If this was Miami LeBron, I'd be sitting back going, oh, okay, let him do his thing. Just go ahead. As soon as they get in the playoffs, it's over. Especially with AD, shit. It would have been a wrap. How are you going to stop LeBron in 2012 or 2016?
With a Mack truck.
Oh my God. With AD?
Maybe. Oh, well, yeah, you need 2 Mack trucks.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if there's a difference, folks, that was 8 seasons ago. Some guys play 8 seasons, retire, and they're talking about, they're doing memoirs about it.
Right.
And we don't even know who they are.
Right.
They'll say things like, I was one of the guys off the bench during the 81-point game. This is my story.
I am Gennaro Pargo.
I am Devin Green. And yes, I saw Kobe play.
From the bench for 48 solid minutes.
I think I
watched greatness unfold.
I appreciate those stories, though. I'm not trying to dog them because it is kind of an inside thing. There was a documentary on, I think it was Amazon. I downloaded it, and I didn't even know about it. They didn't market it very well. I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't even say it was a documentary about his 81-point game. And I'm looking at the guy that first came on. I'm like, why does this guy look familiar? I hadn't seen him in years, probably since that day. And it's Devin Green. He's the guy that checked in when he was checking out.
Right.
With, 8 seconds left?
Yes.
And then they interviewed
the answer to a trivia question, basically. They
interviewed Smush Parker in that documentary, and I know this is going to sound weird, and Smush validated it too. He broke down in the documentary. He broke down. He had a lot. He broke down and had a lot of regret about because Kobe's not here anymore. But I kind of thought that again, I wasn't in practice. I get it. I can't really know the full story, but just kind of my observation of things. I thought Kobe was a little hard on Smush. I don't think he needed to go that to that degree. That's just me. Hey man, there were worse players on around that time than Smush. And I know Smush might have not been the most dedicated guy. I don't know. I'll never know. We'll never know. It doesn't matter. But at this point, talking about the team right now, I'm going to have to continue to ride the small possibility that Rob has to bring some kind of reinforcement at some point here, like earlier. And by the way, the Dwayne Wade, Jesus Christ. Who are making these statues?
Lawrence Fishburne.
These guys?
Lawrence Fishburne broke into the sculpture room one night and was like,
"That's an insult to Lawrence Fishburne." Seriously, if I'm Lawrence Fishburne, I'm like, dude, I don't look like that. Come on.
Oh man, that's a good one too.
I'm Furious Styles, man. I don't look like that. I had the nice waves. I was fit. He never looked like that.
That makes me switch back to the. We go. There we go. All right.
So what do you think that was, G? You think that was another DEI wire? I think it was. They screwed up Kobe and D-Wade. How do you?
Yeah, it's the same. I think it's the same company or the same guy, right? That did that.
Apparently from the work, yeah. I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah.
This is horrendous.
What is it? If it didn't work right the first time, try again. I
always
don't know.
laugh at these bobbleheads. The cheapest, trashiest piece of shit ceramic, whatever the hell that shit is made out of from China. Every baseball season, get the Walker Buehler bobblehead. I'm like, dude, there's like 15 Walker Buehler bobbleheads, and none of them look like them.
I have no bobbleheads in my life.
I have two. I have a Walker Buehler bobblehead and a Franco Harris bobblehead. I'm sorry. I do have a Shaq one, but that was a little more elegant. It's like this big instead of
yeah. No, the Shaq one was classy. I remember the Shaq one.
They want you to. They want me to bring up the Ronaldo statue. Now it's like, okay.
That's missing. The D-Wade statue made Ronaldo's statue look normal. At least it sort of looks like him. They got the head right. They didn't even get his head right.
Looks like
he looked like he was gonna. It looked like Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk right at that moment.
The jowls, the looks like a beard. I don't know what was going on with that. Yeah.
I guess they showed it from the side in one of the pics. I don't know if it was altered. These days, I don't know what the hell's real anymore. But I'm going to say it's real. You always talk
about me being a nice guy and whatnot. I would have said I had an issue with it if it was me.
But when you look at it from the side, it looked like him, I guess. I don't know.
Wait a minute. So, it's okay with me. He's defending it.
Oh, so I see. It's like it's
okay
like,
to ask for a refund. It is okay.
No, Joe. Joe's saying it's real art. That it's like kind of like an optical illusion and shit, man. You know.
Hey, yeah. I'm not in my business. This stuff came at me. I don't know. Yeah. I guess from the side profile, it sort of looks like him, maybe.
No, not really.
But all you see is this.
But I do know that every time I walk by the painting of the Duchess in this hallway, the eyes seem to follow
me. You mean at Disneyland?
And they're getting worse and worse. Like we've seen, like, what was it, The Rock, or it had one like a Movieland Wax Museum one, museum, or Madame Tussauds here in Vegas. Yeah, I heard that was really bad, or I saw that was really bad, and yeah, they're just getting worse. Technology is supposed to make things better.
No, I have news. My daughter got hired as a NBA sculptor, so you'll be seeing her work soon. She's 6.
She's probably better.
The problem it's the attention to detail, or the computer doing it for you, is
number 2.
It's just, you look at practical movies, they're just better.
I just think none of these people have ever seen Ghost.
In the movie?
Yeah, when he does the pottery and it's all like,
yes, with Demi Moore and all that.
Didn't The Simpsons do a rendition of that?
Oh yeah, it's been
many. And Leslie Nielsen in one of the Naked Gun movies.
Oh, that was great. Yes. Priscilla looked.
Nice, nice Beaver. Thanks.
So to finish out the road trip,
just had it stopped.
A few years back, I hadn't seen Naked Gun maybe for 15 years, and I was just bored one day, and I put it on. I was dying the whole time. I was laughing. I was like, dude, this movie is amazing.
It's amazing. The first one is so good.
I've been swimming in raw sewage, and I love it.
I love it.
So with that, it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. And before we head out to finish off the road trip, guys, it's Memphis. Again, not confirmed. I'm assuming Ja will be back in the lineup by then.
Oh, he'll be back. They're always back for the Laker games.
Always back.
Yeah, no, that's how it works.
Like Bradley Beal. Apparently, he got hit by a car.
Right.
And he was done for the Mavericks game, and he was not going to come back. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he turned into Willis Reed.
Wait, the Lakers are
the Lakers are coming to town? Shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, there we go.
Put me in. I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.
If that's the case, again, Memphis getting all of their guys back. I don't know how far.
We're not making Gerald laugh too much here, Gerald.
No, not right now. But you guys acting goofy. As long as they entertain the audience, that's all that matters.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice of you.
Yes. But with that said, the Memphis Grizzlies look to improve upon their record. 27. I'll give it right back at you. So with that, Joe, yes, the Memphis Grizzlies, with all their guys, right? Yeah, there you go. Now Jamie's doing it too. Zach Edey, obviously getting off to the rough rookie start, but they have a lot of talent there in Memphis. I'm thinking because they're healthy, they're going to improve, but I don't know how far they'll improve. I picked them for 10th just because I don't want to, I'm just hedging my bets. I think of saying, what they improve 20 games, they still are under 50 wins on the season. If they improve 20 wins, they're still under 50. But still, if Jaw's back, that's going to make them a tough defeat to finish off the road trip, Joe.
Somebody just called Max Christie on Lakers ball Tampax.
Wow.
That is brutal.
I think that's strong.
So he's the one that's going to be guarding Ja Morant at least.
Ja Morant's going to make him bleed.
I know that. He can't handle quickness. He cannot handle quickness.
Throw that one in there too.
Oh, man.
No, yeah, it would help if he came out of nowhere and helped. Sure.
From out of the West comes Max Christie.
Is there something that can click? You all tell me. I haven't heard anybody say shit about Max Christie yet. They just sit there in the corner like this.
Well, the defenders for Max Christie is, it's funny. The other night when you weren't here,
they're not defending him. They don't even.
Well, the first thing that was thrown on my face was after the game in Sacramento was, oh, well, you guys are haters. You haters. Oh, what about you and Max Christie? And we know the individual that's been sending us emails nonstop all summer about Max Christie. I said, oh, okay. I see how you are. Well, how is your Max Christie doing to help out this situation? Absolutely zero.
What do you mean your Max Christie? Who the hell said that?
No, Gerald is saying it to them.
That individual.
Yeah.
A.K. Rodell, basically emailing us like
you
constantly.
Stop talking about Rodell and Max Christie. You're killing me over here. Who cares?
You're killing me, Larry.
Max Christie doesn't even know Rodell exists.
Sure he does.
So with that, again, will the Lakers find any answers?
Max Christie will be doing basketball clinics in 20 years somewhere, and Gerald will be bringing up Rodell every time his name comes up.
Jamie,
Gerald,
to close out the road trip. Obviously, if Ja Morant's back, it's going to be a tougher test. But you know what? If the Lakers have that kind of momentum with 2 straight or possibly 3 straight wins by that time, you never know. They could finish the trip strong.
They could, and a win over Memphis is always in Memphis is historically a quality win. It really does depend on who's playing. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. back yet?
Yes, he is back. He came back over the weekend.
Yeah, of course. Just almost in time, just to get a couple of reps in before he plays Lakers. I wouldn't be surprised if they had as much of their whole team healthy on the floor together and kind of cooking for the first time in a while, and that they serve up something special in the pregame meal. And, that's going to be a battle. If Ja Morant plays, that's going to be a battle. We don't have anybody that can hang with Ja Morant defensively, not one single player right now. AD can alter his jump shots, but Ja can just get by AD, I think, pretty. If he's out on the perimeter, if we drag him out on the perimeter, we got to keep AD in the paint. That's going to be.
That's one thing. That's the key to the success for the season. Is AD has predominantly stayed in the paint. All those threats of him being out at the 3-point line, I think reality sets in. And you know what? Get him close to the basket.
Yes.
You could get a guy like Zach Edey as a rookie instantly in foul trouble and make things easier for himself.
Well, this is my, for forever I'll be insisting that this is the way basketball should be. Basketball should be played inside out. You get the ball inside. You don't have to score inside. You from the inside interior of the court on your side. You can make so many more intelligent plays. You can open up so many more cutting lanes. You can find open shooters. And that's what we saw AD doing in those 3 wins. We saw AD passing the ball, scoring the ball, making good decisions with the ball. You look at the shot profile from the last game. First quarter looked like all the other games. After that, he didn't shoot more than 6 shots in a quarter, I think. First quarter, he shot 10 and made half of them. Threes, and then he starts taking more mid-range shots, kind of went back to an older shot profile. All of that's going to be on the coaching staff to like keep on a razor's edge all season long. You cannot divert much. This team can't like freestyle. They can't freestyle and win. They got to execute. They got to out-execute the teams they're playing against every night. Even the Detroits, I hate to say it, because there's good players on Detroit. They just aren't a good team yet. And every once in a while, a good player is enough, especially in the regular season. So it's going to be a problem. I still think we can beat Memphis, even with John Morant. I actually kind of look forward to that test because he is, I think, maybe the best attacking guard. When he's healthy, I think he is the best at attacking and putting pressure on the defense in terms of his raw athleticism, speed, and talent and decision making. So it's a good test. It's a good test for the defense. And those are where my questions are every single year is how's our defense going to respond? So that's all I got, man. That's it. I'm done now.
So before we head on out, Joe, some final words for everyone out there. Anything that we can go ahead and come up with as far as trying to fix this problem? Doesn't look like there is any fix, but anything that we could do to help out the starting unit at all at this point with what we have?
No.
Nice.
All right.
Can I give
Jamie?
Joe a slow? Wait.
You thought I was going to get all detailed. No.
Yes, Gerald. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, what's going on with your 5 things articles at Lakerholics.com?
I'm generally dropping one after every game. The back-to-backs, I'll wait till after the back-to-back because it's just a lot to like write them back-to-back. I don't have that kind of time. I'm not getting paid. But I'm liking where they're at so far this year. I think I'm being pretty fair to the team. Some people think I'm being overly harsh. That's cool.
Gee, I wonder who said that.
I mean, all sorts of people. It's fine. I don't really care. Not just Laker Tom. And Michael is the one who's been like, well, you're awful hard on Max Christie. I'm like, well, he's awful bad. So
I think we're in agreement there.
I'm trying to think where the thought process is in us being bad about him. How about him being bad to us by sucking?
I think they see that.
Yeah. He's really letting us down, isn't he, Joe?
Okay, so it's 4 games in. He's the first guy coming off the bench. The first minute, 90 seconds he plays, he shows great effort. He probably would even make a shot, tips the ball on the offensive end. It helps get an offensive rebound. You'll see some signs. And then it just starts to go away with each passing minute after that, as far as the flaws in his game. And then you see the scoreboard going against the Lakers' way when he's in there. And I don't think that's a coincidence that he is the worst on the team in plus minus.
I don't know.
So it's a thing
it's
that has to be
unfortunate,
rectified.
but it wouldn't be so egregious. It wouldn't feel so egregious if he was on a better deal. And if the circumstances around that deal weren't that it was basically the first thing we did in free agency, and then it turned out to basically be the only thing we did in free agency, other than resign or do the extension for LeBron.
Ralph
got it. I got it a couple days ago, guys, but I'm disqualified. But yes, Ralph got it.
Ralph got what?
Joe's code name that he put there. He put it there, and he put a contest out for anybody to figure it out. Sports Baby got close a couple days ago, but he didn't use layman's terms. He just used the chemical ingredients. And
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
sodium pentothal.
Ah.
So
But-
sodium Na on the elemental chart, and then that long.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what Na was. I was like, is Na iron? No, that's
sodium.
That's sodium.
But he was looking for the layman's terms for sodium pentothal, and looks
It's
like
called-
Ralph got it.
It's called truth serum, baby.
There you go.
And that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate moniker in the end. The truth serum.
I like Admiral Akbar.
You can never really be in the wrong there. You can be rude. You could be obnoxious. You could be inconsiderate. It's the truth. And you pick your spots. For example, if some overweight lady says, "Do you think I'm fat?" Depending on my mindset at that point, I'll answer, "Well, you're sure, maybe you could, or I could just say, yeah, you are."
Well, out of curiosity, how often does that question get put to you on a
Never.
daily basis?
No one talks to me.
Just us.
No, it's an interesting life that I've lived. I look meaner now, but apparently I still look mean when I was in college. People don't really approach.
Just try a beard, man.
I don't I don't mind doing this a little bit for about 2 or 3 days, just because it's better on the shave.
Just let it all go.
I'm not a beard guy.
Don't shorn your hair for 3 months.
I've done that. I did that when I played the Wolverine.
When I played the Wolverine.
If you all don't believe me, I'll send you a picture here.
I believe you. I 100% believe you. I can very much see you going full Weapon X.
Well, it's not. I like clean everything. I just don't want to deal with hair and.
Not clean language, Joe. Not clean language.
Language is different. That I don't have to wear it. I can just say it.
Oh, you wear those words.
Oh yes.
All right, I got to go to work, you guys.
And with that, thank you again for the super chat, $7,000. He says he'll take Cam Thomas over Jalen Brunson. Jamie Sweet.
Always. I'll take Cam Thompson over. I mean, I like Jalen Brunson, but let's be honest.
Thomas is a great scorer. Yep.
He's a great, yeah. That guy's going to be legit in like 2 years.
So with that, it is Jamie Sweet. 5 Things articles at Lakerholics.com, at Joe Soro, Oxide247 at LakersBall.com. Please go ahead and join us tomorrow for our coverage of the Lakers and the Cavs. Oh my God.
Beard look.
There you go.
What is that? Is that Curly from the Three Stooges?
No.
Or that your Weapon X days?
I know who it is.
All right.
I mean, he was kind of like a Three Stooge when you think about it.
And with that, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. We'll be back tomorrow for more hijinks as the Cleveland Cavaliers face off against the Los Angeles Lakers. Will the Lakers find success going home for LeBron and Bronny? We'll find out tomorrow. Plus, we'll have the post game and so much more right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
It's the crunching.